Fade route to Campbell. Warwick Dunn still on his feet.
Hilliard.
Holt in a foot race with Crutchfield.
Intercepted again. Score!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to College Flash Classics. I'm your host, Dave Neal. Auburn versus LSU. Now, fans outside of the South probably don't think that this is much of a rivalry, but supporters of both of these schools know better. And it all began with the famous earthquake game in 1988, when LSU scored late in the contest on a long fourth-down conversion to win the game 7-6. The crowd noise was so deafening at that moment that it registered on the Richter scale at the school's geology department. And that momentum carried into the 90s in a big way. Auburn and LSU played in 5 of the most thrilling games you will ever see. But when you mention these two teams, there is one game in particular that immediately comes to mind. The 1994 LSU-Auburn matchup was billed as just about everything except what it turned out to be. Auburn had the nation's longest winning streak at 13 games, and Terry Bowden was still undefeated as their head coach. Curly Hallman's LSU Tigers had spoiled Alabama's 31-game unbeaten streak the year before and were coming back to the state of Alabama looking to do the same thing to Auburn. The Auburn defense was extremely confident that year and had been particularly strong early, allowing their first two opponents a total of 31 yards rushing. On offense, the Tigers relied on a strong rushing attack led by Stephen Davis, who went on to rank as the 4th all-time leader in rushing yards in school history. Davis was the USA Today Player of the Year when he came out of high school in 1993. On the other side, LSU featured a couple of good runners themselves, and power back Robert Toomer and slasher Jermaine Sharp. Both had been virtually unstoppable early in the season. Something had to give, and no one quite knew what to predict for this one. Of course, nobody could have dreamed that this game could have played out like it did. Fans on both sides who witnessed it couldn't believe their own eyes. The fourth quarter of Auburn LSU in 1994 will go down as one of the most bizarre in NCAA history. On the first drive of the game, LSU easily drove the ball down the field, but Andre LaFleur's 38-yard field goal attempt was blocked. We'll pick up the action on Auburn's first possession of the game.
Now the Auburn offense out of that pro eye, going to work for the first time. Nix a drop to set up the screen. He's got some company out on the right side. That is Harold Morrow, and he's down to the 46-yard line.
Rodney Young made the tackle downfield, but just an excellent job of execution. And the Bowden boys, they like to start things off with a play pass, get folks pulled back a little bit, and they certainly made that one work. Calais tried to get there, but he was late.
33 yards on the first play of the game for the Auburn Tigers. Quick give to the fullback inside. That's number 5, Joe Frazier. Morrow, the man who backs him up. And you've got Frazier back there with Stephen Davis, Patrick Nix, some good skilled people in Sanders, Fuller, and Bailey. And then up front, on the split side and the tight side, they call him. Shannon Robique has been outstanding, all SEC last year when he started 11 games. All SEC freshman team was Willie Anderson, the tight tackle who plays on that right side. And the numbers for Patrick Nix as the Stan White era is a thing of the past here. And that ball delivered too low to Harold Morrow, number 12.
You know, why not? It worked one way, let's try it the other side.
4-3 defense. The Tigers of LSU lost 3 starters from that defense. 4 good guys up front. Mike Calais leads the linebackers with Stansbury and Rogers flanking him. And they've got a veteran secondary with the likes of Gary Pegues and Ivory Hilliard, who had the huge game at Alabama last year.
James and Young on the corners are good, solid, steady performers.
Shotgun on 3rd and 7. Nix quickly to the right boundary. And trying to wrestle him down was Rodney Young. It depends on where they mark him out of bounds. Tyrone Goodson out there on the pattern. And you can hear 80,000 shouting go.
offensive line is really a strength for these Auburn Tigers. They had to replace 2 tackles, Anthony Redmond and Wayne Gandy. Gandy playing in the NFL now.
Well, I see Jesse McCovery going out there to block. He had his arms pumping in the air. Yeah, we're going for it on 4th and 1. Quarterback Nix will go straight ahead. I think the surge got him there. Obviously, Torrey James and some of the other LSU players disagree. It looked like Nix had enough forward momentum to get the yard they needed. We'll see where they mark it. That is very close.
I don't think he got it based on
where it's sitting right now, Tim. Based on where they marked it, he is short.
We're going to see if our official evaluation of this from across the field and 50 rows up is accurate. Oh!
LSU holding. So each team's defense does a great job. We've played 8 minutes of the first quarter, and the game is still scoreless here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Nothing happening offensively so far. A blocked field goal and a hold on 4th down. We're back after this from your local stations.
That's great. I didn't realize I could get monthly payments that low.
Glad to give you the good news, Keith.
I gotta be honest. Good news is something I could really use right now.
My pleasure. Call if you need us.
Will do. I hope.
There's never a bad time to call Safe Auto for state minimum coverage. 1-800-SAFE AUTO. State minimum coverage, maximum savings.
Hey, what's up? Oh, nothing.
Does your business have the financial control it needs? Here's what you can expect from Regions. A bank that provides you with real business expertise. Check. A professional optimization of your cash flow with a Regions Cash Core analysis. Check. Cash management solutions and the smart lending options you need to grow your business. Check. Plus, it all comes with award-winning service to help you achieve more balance. Interested? Let's talk. Looking good.
And the field is holding up very well after, probably the better part of an inch of rain over the last 24 hours. First down at the 48. Nix fakes a handoff. Rifles one out to the right side. Frank Sanders finally grabbing a hold of one. He's number 9 in receptions, number 8 in yardage on the all-time Auburn list. And he's on the Biletnikoff list as the nation's top receiver this year.
Nice route by Sanders. He drove down on Young and then came back well for the ball. Nix put it right on the money.
3rd in the league last year with 48 receptions. 8 yards on first down, 2nd and 2. Davis. First down. Then he's bent in all kind of directions by 3 LSU defenders. Gabe Northern and Mike Calais were the first 2 to get there. Calais very active, number 56, playing that middle linebacker spot in his 4-3 defense.
Good movement by Calais, and a nice job by Northern, forcing it deep. And even though he lost containment on it, he forced it deep enough that Calais was able to get there and help him make the stop.
Started 11 games as a freshman last year and made the all-league freshman team. Had a high game of 14 tackles when they took on Arkansas. That was a very disappointing game for LSU. They would have gone to the CarQuest Bowl had they beaten Arkansas the last game of the year. Look at the surge! Oh! Stephen Davis! Gary Pegues finally made the tackle after Davis carried a bayou full of Bengals about 10 yards with him.
They got Jason Taylor running ahead of him here, the guard. You see there? Working on Stansberry. Gary Pegues comes out to about the bottom of the 8. Gary isn't the most dominant player in the SEC in terms of size. He's a little scrapper, but he had enough scrap that time to hang on.
First down at the 27. And a little swinger out to the right side. They're lucky that wasn't picked off. Davis, the intended receiver, and Rodney Young, the left corner, was closing fast.
But Curly Hallman has fought his way through the tough times and feels like things are turned around and headed in the right direction at LSU. Certainly has now corralled enough talent, I think, to compete. One of the talented players he has is Rodney Young.
And that defense still hasn't given up a first quarter touchdown since the Ole Miss game last year. Second down at the 27 for Auburn. Nix is flushed out of there, but he's got some room to run. And he will wisely get out of bounds at the 23. It'll still leave them with third down, about 5.5, maybe 6 yards to go. Kenny Mixon, the man who flushed him out of there. Mixon, a redshirt freshman who backs up James Gilliard at left end.
And Nix is doing a good job. I mean, he watched Stan White play for a couple of years and played very sparingly, then came in against Alabama and threw a 35-yard touchdown and was the hero of that game and been very dependable so far this year.
3rd and 6. And the ball delivered low and outside to Tyrone Goodson. So a possible field goal attempt coming up for Auburn. Matt Hawkins is their place kicker. He's 3 for 3 this year. A junior out of Pensacola. Patrick Sullivan is the holder. Brian Brinsfield, who's been perfect for 3.5 years, is the snapper.
3.5 years, not a bad snap. I mean, that's amazing.
350 snaps. A 40-yarder from the near hash, and it's perfect. With 11:49 to go in the second quarter, Auburn is on the board, and those are the first points of the game. On the field goal, Tigers of Auburn 3. LSU gets the football back when we come back.
Come take a walk along 12 miles of beautiful, pristine beaches. Come watch nature untouched by man's encroachment. Come enjoy 5-star dining. Come relax at Hilton Head Island, the jewel of the South. VacationPlay.tv is offering a 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive vacation for just $99 per couple. That's right, you receive breakfast for 2, lunch for 2, and dinner for 2, plus 3 days and 2 nights at one of our luxurious hotels on Hilton Head Island. Choose between the Crowne Plaza Hotel or the Park Lane Hotel, Hilton Head's only all-suite hotel, all for just $99 per couple. Call 800-893-4128 to reserve your getaway. That's 800-893-4128 for your 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive getaway. Married or engaged couples only. Call now. Live operators are waiting. 800-893-4128.
Sunday, Ole Miss collides with Mississippi State on Sports South.
Jamie Howard and the LSU Fighting Tigers back to work. Down by 3 at their own 25. And a pitch to Sharp. Oh, there's Tigers from Auburn everywhere. A host of Auburn defenders. Marcellus Mostella, the first man out there. Then Darrell Riggins from free safety.
Now, Mostella did a great job of fighting out the block of David LaFleur, number 47. See those guys working at it? Mostella shakes him loose, takes on the block of Guerin, and is in on the tackle.
LSU on the first drive of the day, they had 52 yards. Since then, -8. They lost a yard on that play. Shedrick Wilson, the motion man. Howard will roll that way. And it's too low for Shedrick. The announcers for this game selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Nice to have Tim Foley back.
Well, thank you very much. Enjoyed watching you and David.
Yeah, we had a couple of good ball games.
Oh, great games.
Vandy gave Bama all they wanted last week. Here, neither team's been very good on third down. This time it's 3rd and 11. Howard straight ahead.
Oh, no!
And Brett Besh! He will score! A 66-yarder for LSU.
Jamie Howard gunned that in there. And I think it was Robinson that made a move on the ball and looked like he was going to intercept it. Tipped the ball, and what concentration by Brett Besh. He guns this downfield. Robinson can't get around to make the play on it, and Besh is there to catch the tip ball. Chris Schelling chases him into the end zone.
Andre LaFleur for the point after. LSU has shocked the big crowd here in Auburn. And the Tigers from Baton Rouge will lead at 7-3. And that play was a minute 1 after the field goal. So LSU is on top 7-3 with a big, long touchdown pass.
This is the worst weather we've seen in quite some time, folks. And I don't see any end in sight. People have been calling in from across the state complaining their basements are flooding. They need the waterproofing solutions from Basement Systems. If you want a dry basement or crawl space that will weather any kind of storm, you need the patented solution from Basement Systems.
Now you can finish your basement with the Total Basement Finishing System.
I'm predicting this storm front's heading your way.
Dial 800-515-4035 for a free estimate. 800-515-4035.
Have you ever had an idea for a product or invention and didn't know who to tell or where to go because you didn't know who you could trust? Well, the answer is simple. Call InventHelp, because we've been helping people like you for over 20 years. We're America's leading invention company with over 50 offices nationwide. It's not easy deciding what to do, but InventHelp's priority is you. First, you need to call. The call is free, there's no obligation, so stop waiting and call today.
50 years of hockey in Nashville.
If you ever come to a game, you're hooked.
The Dixie Flyers in the 60s and 70s.
And they would take that stick and just split you.
It was survival of the fittest.
The South Stars in the 80s.
Greatest athletes that I'd ever seen.
The Knights in the 90s.
Hit somebody, and everybody go, hard.
Now, the Predators.
We are going to win the Stanley Cup.
It's Hockey History in Music City, premiering Tuesday at 7 on Fox Sports South.
First down at the 10-yard line. LSU in the shadow of its own goalposts. Howard will get to Sharp, and he will be stopped near the line of scrimmage. Marcellus Mostella, just a sophomore out of Gadsden, Alabama. The first man out there to meet him from his weak side linebacker position.
This work, they're trying to get it to the outside, and again, Marcellus Mostella, who will definitely be on the all-name SEC team, fights off the block and makes a play. And keep your feet, fend off the blocker, and complete the play.
You keep playing like that, underclassmen. Everybody around this league will know your name. Only a sophomore. They've got 4 seniors on the line, but a couple of babies behind him.
His middle name is Aurelius. Not really.
Second down and 10. Sharp again. And even worse, the ball's on the ground. Auburn has it. Touchdown! Chris Schelling. The hit was made by Mike Pelton.
it away. So here we go. Helton, great job. Also Mostella there to help pull it out, and Schelling all over the ball. A game of highs and lows. A few moments ago, Schelling was following Besch down the field. Now he scores a touchdown. Very opportunistic Auburn defense gets the Tigers back on top.
And then Matt Hawkins misses the extra point. It'll be 9-7 Auburn with 7:34 to go.
After a 17-play drive, the Tigers took a 10-9 lead on a 22-yard field goal and seemed to be settling into a groove. In the second half, however, turnovers became the story of the day.
Clay Langford is over the ball now. The first snap in over 350 that hasn't come from Brian Brinchfield.
He's got it on target. Oh, look at this kid. Kennison waiting for it, but he's got some room to operate. He gets by two men, cuts outside, and he will be angled out of bounds at the 43 of LSU. Eddie Kennison's long return this year, of course, 100 against Mississippi State last week. He gets 25 back after this 52-yard kick.
And if you're on special teams blocking, you really work hard for a guy like Eddie Kennison, because you know that he can take it all the way at any time. You're not just walking through the motions. You're trying to lock up somebody and take him down.
There's the other 100-yard kick return. Jimmy Campagna of Georgia against Washington State in 52. And Burt Retchikar of Tennessee against Washington and Lee in 1950.
Burt Retchikar, Baltimore Cole after he went to Tennessee.
And there's Jermaine Sharp on the ball carry. Jermaine had a rather puzzling first half. Came out looking good. Then he lost yardage on 4 consecutive carries. He was pulled out of the game at that point. They went with Kevin Franklin. And Jermaine finished the first half with only 8 carries for 16 yards. Pretty amazing considering he had a long play of 20. So on everything else, he lost yardage. There's one of the reasons. Jason Miska playing in the middle there. Derek Robinson had knee surgery last Friday. He's out for the season.
Miska led him last year in tackles, and he's quite a story.
Kennison, the motion man, on 2nd and 8. Little bootleg. Howard looking out to this side, and it's too tall for everybody. It was over Kennison and way over Brett Besch. Quarterback pressure by Alonzo Etheridge from right defensive end.
Etheridge had a interception last week against Northeast Louisiana on the 3-yard line. Coming around the backside as Jamie Howard lets it go, and Alonzo kind of backed off on that. He didn't give him the full hammer blow.
Here comes a 3rd down and 8 for LSU. They've had the ball for the first 3 minutes and 14 seconds of the quarter. At least after Auburn went 3 and out. And that ball might have been intercepted. It was! Chris Schelling! And that's the 9th interception of his career. He cut right in front of Brett Besch and fought the ball away.
He was right there with Brett Besch all the way. Schelling is always going to be close, but he had help from Robinson on the inside. They were double teaming him, and Schelling went down and dug the ball out. Great play by Chris Schelling, who's one of the premier cornerbacks in the SEC.
Auburn takes over at their own 47. Nix on the run, and he's got Frank Sanders. He's out of bounds down around the 41 of LSU. Rodney Young, the left corner, the man they were working on.
Stansbury coming on the blitz, and he kind of let Nix have it after the ball was gone. Sanders runs a nice route on Rodney Young and makes the catch. You know, that ball, if it's well thrown, is going to be caught. It's one-on-one on the outside, and you know, one of the things that Rodney has to think about, especially on first down, is the deep throw. Prevent that.
Single back and 4 wide receivers for Nix and the Tigers. That ball was tipped and almost picked off. Right into the chest of Rodney Young. Chuck Wiley, the man who appeared to get a hand on it. He backs up Nate Miller at left tackle.
You know, and Stansberry went dancing with Nix again. This is becoming quite a couple here. And Young almost comes up with a big play. Good play by Stansberry.
Chuck Wiley, a redshirt freshman from Baker, Louisiana. A fumble recovery against Mississippi State in his first career game, and he almost caused an interception right there. 2nd and 10. And all over the quarterback, Gabe Northern. Wiley picks it up. And the Tigers of LSU have the football.
A heads-up play by Northern and Wiley, but a great play by Tom Nix, because Wiley looked like he was off to the races, and Nix reaches up from his prone position on the turf and makes a tackle.
On the 46, Sharp. And he'll get about 4, maybe 5. The best thing that could happen for LSU right now, Tim Foley, would be to get that offensive line churning and get Jermaine Sharp back into this football game.
You got to get him feeling confident again, I think, in terms of holding on to the football, and that was a good start. He hit it up behind Blanchard and Mark King, and there was some good movement on the front from Smothers and Price. The offensive line's doing okay. It might be a good idea now to try to head more at Auburn. Their ends are upfield.
Call it 5 on 1st down. Howard pointing to a cheating quarterback. And he gives it to Sharp again. Fumble. And it has been recovered by Auburn.
Come take a walk along 12 miles of beautiful, pristine beaches. Come watch nature, untouched by man's encroachment. Come enjoy 5-star dining. Come relax at Hilton Head Island, the jewel of the South. VacationPlay.tv is offering a 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive vacation for just $99 per couple. That's right, you receive breakfast for 2, lunch for 2, and dinner for 2, plus 3 days and 2 nights at one of our luxurious hotels on Hilton Head Island. Choose between the Crowne Plaza Hotel or the Park Lane Hotel, Hilton Head's only all-suite hotel, all for just $99 per couple. Call 800-893-4128 to reserve your getaway. That's 800-893-4128 for your 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive getaway. Married or engaged couples only. Call now. Live operators are waiting. 800-893-4128.
Saturday, Auburn needed double overtime to defeat Ole Miss by a point. Now, can the Rebels even the score in the rematch? Auburn, Ole Miss, Saturday at 7 on Fox Sports South, where the madness begins. Brought to you by Toyota.
Gary Daniel had a 52-yard kick last time, but he may have outkicked his coverage. Hangs this one up. Kennison at his own 39. A dance to the right, a move to the left, and another. And he's outside. 2 men to beat. Cuts it inside, and he's down to the 25 of Auburn. 46 on the kick, 34 on the return. And Eddie Kennison puts LSU in touchdown or field goal territory very quickly.
You can bet that Curly Hallman talked to him about the possibilities here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And I bet they reminisced about their excursion to Tuscaloosa last year. And as we mentioned before, they work hard on punt returns because they know the prowess of young Eddie Kennison. Anytime he can break it.
First down at the 25. Howard to Toomer. A missed tackle. And he's down to the 15, maybe the 14. Chris Schelling, who's had such a great game at the boundary corner, had him for a loss and let him get away.
Good vision by Robert Toomer. Nothing home at the hole. He bounces it outside. You see it here. Hits up in there, nothing there, and he goes lateral right down the line of scrimmage. Mastella is outrun, and finally Albus is there to make the stop.
Another first down for LSU. Howard keeping it on the ground to Toomer. He sees a little seam up the middle. And he gets his helmet down inside the 10-yard line. He was going to cut outside, but he didn't see anything. He saw a little daylight straight ahead. Anthony Harris, strong side linebacker on the tackle. They're feeling good, the folks who come from Baton Rouge for this one.
Wayne Hall has to be a little concerned here. Obviously, at this point, not getting a lot of production out of the offense, but, you know, it's just going to be like that in some games. And defensively, you got to come up and make some plays. You got to make something happen. Take it away.
Second down and 6. Toomer straight ahead, and he's to the goal line. Touchdown, LSU. He had to do a great job just to hold on to the ball after the hit he took, and LSU is into the end zone with 2:31 to go in the third quarter.
Auburn is blitzing. They're upfield. LSU takes it on up front. Robinson hammers Toomer, but it's too late. It's 6 points for the Bengal Tigers.
Andre LaFleur on for the extra point. It's 20-9. LSU with the upset brewing, but we've got a lot of football left to play here in Auburn.
Add an unlimited no-contract Android line now at Metro and get a $25 reward on us. $25 to go to Android. Only at Metro PCS.
Hello? Bob! How are Judy and the kids? So, as you can see, Midwest sales are up. Nice job, guys.
Is this what happens when you get caught driving without car insurance? No, but considering the fines and penalties, it sure feels that way.
That's in your face!
1-800-SAFE-AUTO. State minimum coverage, maximum savings.
The most anticipated moment in racing.
Wednesday, the Demon Deacons head to Virginia. Can the Cavs maintain their smothering defense? Or will C.J. Harris push Wake to a win? Wake Forest, Virginia, Wednesday at 7:30 on Fox Sports South, where the madness begins. Brought to you by Toyota.
They are excited, those who've come from Baton Rouge to Auburn, Alabama. The marching band from Tigerland and all their accessories.
And they are in the minority here.
Well, sure they are. They're supposed to be. But they've got the majority of the points, and that's all that matters. 20-9 as the fourth quarter starts with a 2nd and 6 at the 21. Kennis in motion. Howard fakes to Toomer, and he has to get rid of it. And the ball was thrown almost into the hands of Willie Whitehead. Now, we must add, there was a receiver in the area, David LaFleur.
Well, he wanted Eric Smith, who was on a down and in route, and good job of coverage by Chris Schelling and Brian Robinson.
Here's our Lee Apparel game summary after 3 quarters. Auburn and LSU not that much different in rushing, but in passing 100 yards the difference. And LSU averaging 363 total yards a game, right on the mark. On 3rd and 6. No gain. Kevin Franklin. Anthony Harris, the first man to get there. Number 53 with 7 tackles on the day. 31 to lead the team this year.
Lynn Amity tries to sneak one by him here. The little trick behind the back draw play. But Anthony Harris is on the spot, makes the stop.
39-yard field goal attempt near the left hash. Andre LaFleur.
Good job by the Auburn defense, prevented the touchdown.
He hits it beautifully. No problem. 23-9, LSU with a 2-touchdown lead. And it comes 43 seconds into the fourth quarter. LaFleur and the Bayou Bengals getting the job done, and the upset continues to brew in Auburn.
Now, we told you that the fourth quarter was one of the most bizarre in NCAA history, and now we'll let you decide for yourself. What has become known in LSU country as the disaster on the plains began with about 12 minutes left in the game. LSU has the ball 2nd and 9, holding on to a 2-touchdown lead.
2nd and 9.
All those guys up front, Whitehead, Walker, Etheridge, they can all play.
A little too tall for Brett Besh out on the left flank.
Del McGee taking a dangerous angle, cut up in front of Brett Besh, trying to make something happen. Jamie Howard overthrew it, but before the game's over, if LSU needs it, you may see an out and up on McGee, who's playing aggressively. He's trying to make a play for his team.
Jamie Howard had 226 yards against A&M, 237 against Mississippi State, and he's about to make it 3 straight 200-yard games. He's 11 of 26 for 186 today. He's got 4 receivers to throw to on 3rd and 9. He'll drop with time, lots of time, but he throws it into traffic. Intercepted by Ken Elvis. And he's inside the 5. He will score!
Great play by the young man out of Demopolis, Alabama. Actually, he's playing because Otis Mounds tore up his knee, but a great play by Elvis. He had a couple of chances to make plays in the Ole Miss game. Didn't hang on, but this time he does hang on. Robinson leading the way. And he fights his way over the top there and all the way into the end zone.
A redshirt freshman from Demopolis, Alabama. War Eagle, the cry here now. The crowd has come alive. And that quickly, it's a touchdown difference. 23-16, Auburn with the kickoff. Couple of yards deep in the end zone. It's Kevin Franklin, and he is wiped out at the 14. Hawkins took the kick that time, and the momentum has really swung on the 42-yard interception return. And Tim Foley, Jamie Howard threw this ball into some heavy traffic.
Oh, yeah. This is a ball that he would like back, and what a fantastic effort. Trying to get in the end zone. He runs over Howard, he runs over Lyman, and there he gets in the end zone. The tackle on the kickoff was Crook and Colin combined for the tackle on the kickoff.
This crowd of 84,000 has gone insane. First down at the 14. Toomer. No-sir. Gary Walker. Tackle number 6 today. Robert Toomer ran the ball 6 times for 5 yards in the first half. 10 times in this half for almost 40 yards. But a loss or no gain that time. It'll be 2nd and 10.
LSU here getting a taste of what their opposition gets down in Baton Rouge.
Lots of noise. Howard up top, and his receiver was already out of bounds.
Well, you remember we talked about the out and up, right, Bob? McGee was coming underneath. They came back with it on the next series. Del McGee, of course, now did not take the angle, sat behind it, and jammed the receiver out of bounds.
Now a crucial play coming up for Curly Holman. A couple of minutes ago, his team was in control. The worst thing that could have happened to them did. A turnover for a quick touchdown by Auburn. 3rd and 10. Wilson, Kennison, and Besh, the wide men. A fake draw. Howard up the middle. Intercepted again! Fred Smith! And he will score!
Receivers. Jamie Howard had threaded the needle so many times today, tried to do it again, but Fred Smith stepped in front.
And this game is tied.
Come take a walk along 12 miles of beautiful, pristine beaches. Come watch nature, untouched by man's encroachment. Come enjoy 5-star dining. Come relax at Hilton Head Island, the jewel of the South. VacationPlay.tv is offering a 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive vacation for just $99 per couple. That's right, you receive breakfast for 2, lunch for 2, and dinner for 2, plus 3 days and 2 nights at one of our luxurious hotels on Hilton Head Island. Choose between the Crowne Plaza Hotel or the Park Lane Hotel, Hilton Head's only all-suite hotel, all for just $99 per couple. Call 800-893-4128 to reserve your getaway. That's 800-893-4128 for your 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive getaway. Married or engaged couples only. Call now. Live operators are waiting. 800-893-4128.
Sunday, Ole Miss collides with Mississippi State on Sports South.
A once deflated Jordan-Hare Stadium is now pure pandemonium as Auburn has tied the game on 2 incredible interceptions returned for touchdowns. Amazingly, LSU quarterback Jamie Howard kept his composure and marched the Tigers right back down the field. We pick up the 13-play drive with the ball on the Auburn 5-yard line with 5:48 left in the ball game.
Third and goal from the 5 coming up as the clock runs down to the 5:45 mark now. 23 all, fourth quarter. Alvis in the defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Toomer, the lone back. Howard looking left. Nobody there. And he throws it away wisely. They'll settle for 3. At least attempt it. Looked like they were looking for something real quick, Tim, to the left side.
They were looking for Kennison. He ran a quick out into the sideline, and Howard just wasn't ready to throw the ball in time. By the time he collected himself, Schelling had closed, and so we got a field goal attempt by Andre Lafleur.
22-yard attempt. No real angle to worry about. And he's got it right down the middle. LSU has the lead back. That's a great drive. A clutch drive.
LSU stopped Auburn once again on a 3-and-out series. The LSU defense stepped up to the massive challenge and put their team in a position to finally ice this game away for good. Or have they?
Auburn has 2 timeouts remaining. They've been totally outgamed in the second half because their defense has done all the scoring. They might be more dangerous offensively in this situation. Jamie Howard to Robert Toomer. And Mike Pelton's got his arms wrapped around him. Mike Pelton's been unbelievable so far this year. The senior out of Goshen, Alabama. Barry Bowden with that 13-game streak at stake.
What a way to start your career, right? Gee. 11-0. I imagine his dad is proud of him, but how'd you do that?
He figured if he could get past this game, things would be okay for a couple of weeks. He's got East Tennessee State and Kentucky coming in here. Kentucky just got destroyed by Florida last week. Here's a 2nd and 8 at the 17. Bootleg. Howard has to get rid of it. And he does out of the flank to Todd Burks, who takes the hit, stays in bounds, which is the main thing he wanted to do. And he's very close to the first down.
That's a gutsy call by LSU. A naked bootleg. Watch this now. Fakes the ball, coming by himself, back, Whitehead in his face, and he throws it all the way across the field to Burks. Anthony Harris hustling to get there, but they get the first down.
You see Burks make sure he got that knee down before he got to the sideline. That's smart.
Big, big play.
2:35 to go. First down of the 26. And the give to Franklin. And he, too, wanting to stay away from the sideline, cuts it upfield a bit. They get maybe 3. Shelling from right corner to make the tackle. Block the enemy of Auburn. Tigers have the ball, 2nd and 5 with 2:14 to go, and Auburn's got only 1 timeout remaining. Kennison motioning. Howard to Franklin. And as he turns the corner, he is popped by the shoulder pads of Chris Shelling. And now Auburn will call its final timeout with 2:06 to go.
Auburn sliding around. Miska, Mastella, Shelling comes in there and just socks him. He's a great cover guy and also a very physical tackler. I mean, you lose a fella like Fred Smith. There's not often times that you can replace him with somebody the quality of Chris Shelling.
They've got a great secondary. Del McGee over on that left side. Shelling on the right. Robinson and Mounds with Alvis in the middle. Mounds a little shaken up, and Ken Alvis with an interception return for a touchdown today. And of course, Fred Smith trying to come back from that all-SEC season, a knee injury.
And they also lost Calvin Jackson, ineligible academically. And he's down with the Dolphins, right, as far as that goes.
Yeah, he was only a sophomore. And let's get an update from downstairs. 3rd and 4 coming up, and here's Bob Kessler.
You talk about taking risks. Terry Bowden said he's not going to take many more risks this summer. Diving off a cliff at Chimney Rock on Lake Martin, he broke 3 ribs. He's not going to do that anymore, but his defense might have to take a risk right here.
3rd down and 4 at the 32. Howard with time. Into traffic. Intercepted. Brian Robinson. He will score. Unbelievable. The defense in the secondary has done it again. And this time the extra point is good. And it's 30-26 Auburn with 1:55 remaining. A 3rd and 4. If LSU sits on the football and kicks it away, they got a great chance to win. Auburn has no timeouts left. A wobbly pass into traffic, and it was gone. Mike Pelton may have gotten a piece of it. And look at that escort, Tim.
Yeah, and I don't think they went with 5 defensive backs that time. You see Freddie Smith, I think I see Miske in there.
That looked like an aircraft carrier getting about 5 battleships to go alongside.
What a
right
play.
to Pater.
What a play.
30-26 Auburn.
I love it. Do you have financing?
Absolutely. We have great rates. Let's go ahead and check your 3 credit scores.
3 credit scores?
Did you know everyone has 3 credit scores? And just one bad credit score can ruin everything.
That's going to be a problem.
So see all 3 of your credit scores now at freescore.com. Unlike other services that give you only 1 score, freescore.com shows your scores from all 3 credit bureaus for free. That's important, because just one bad score can cause you to be rejected for credit and financing, or pay higher interest rates. So get all 3 scores at freescore.com, plus unlimited access to your complete credit profile, 24/7 credit alerts, and the easiest way to spot inaccuracies.
Enjoy your new TV.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Get your 3 credit scores today for free at freescore.com.
Free score! Freescore.com!
I've never seen anything like this in all the time I've been doing this.
4 defensive touchdowns, a fumble recovery, and 3 interceptions.
My goodness.
Casey Howard at the 30. Fights off a hit from behind. He's out to the 39-yard line. So LSU with 1:48 to go. 1 timeout remaining. They are not dead yet, but the field goal has no use for Curly Holman. He's got to get 6.
But he's got some receivers that can cover some ground. In Eric Smith and Kennison and Shedrick Wilson. And we got Brett Besh.
Four wide receivers. They'll mark the ball short of the 40.
5 Auburn defensive backs.
Howard out to the right side, and Todd Burks is way up there to bring it down.
My goodness gracious.
He came down inbounds somehow. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. 1:40 after the 24-yard reception. Todd Burks is having the game of his life today. He caught 1 pass last year.
And Jamie Howard sat right in there. Fireworks going off around him.
At the 35 of Auburn. He's in trouble. Straight ahead. He's got some room. At the 30, the 25. And that will be, it appears, enough for another first down. That would move the chains and stop the clock. According to where the ball is marked, he appears to have made it. The clock shows 1:16. And now, they're so much closer in just a couple of plays. But again, remember, the field goal is not a factor here. Howard sits in there, up top. And it's a good thing he threw it away. Chris Schelling would have picked it off. Todd Burks got picked off early in the pattern.
And Jamie Howard, as did Patrick Nix, is taking a beating. Kennison is limping off the field. Barry Bowden is 1:05 away from his 14th consecutive victory.
Second down and 10. Here they come. Up the middle. Intercepted! It's Brian Robinson again. He fumbles the ball, and will it stay in? LSU has a chance to recover. And it looks like one of their offensive linemen has grabbed it. Number 79 is Marcus Price. So LSU is not dead yet with 51 seconds to go. Oh, man.
Once again, fires it down the middle to Franklin. He was looking for a two-deep zone. It wasn't there. Great play by Shedrick Wilson, extremely heads up. Brian Robinson had visions of pay dirt, and Wilson strips the ball, and they're still alive with 44 seconds left.
At the 46-yard line of Auburn, Howard up top. What a catch. Eric Smith. That'll move the chains. The clock is stopped momentarily with 29 seconds remaining. Nobody has timeouts left. All LSU can do is throw incompletions or move the chains to stop the clock. Now he goes long to the left side. And the ball is intercepted by Chris Schelling.
Well, you have to feel bad for Jamie Howard and the rest of the LSU squad. After playing 3 quarters of great football and dominating the stat sheet, who would have guessed the fourth quarter would be such a nightmare? 5 interceptions, with 3 of them being returned for touchdowns, all in the fourth quarter alone. Throw in the first half fumble recovery in the end zone, and you have the defense scoring all of Auburn's touchdowns. Amazing. Just amazing. We told you that this was one of the craziest games in SEC history, and now you see why. In fact, LSU outgained Auburn by nearly a 5-to-1 ratio on offense, but turned the ball over a total of 7 times. The break simply went Auburn's way, and every time they needed a big play, they got it. In what was truly a once-in-a-lifetime game, the Auburn winning streak lived on for yet another week. That streak would eventually grow to 20 before the Tigers tied Georgia late in the season and then lost to arch-rival Alabama a week later. This has been a true College Flash classic. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave Neal saying so long, everybody. We'll see you down the road.
Manning, Tyler, touchdown. And that's exactly what they want to do, the pass, touchdown.
Howard up the middle. Intercepted again. Looking right, throwing, complete, but not into the end zone.
Denver on the corner, 1 to beat. Touchdown, Hunter. Warwick Dunn still on his